YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Are you ready for your tax money to finally go towards something that matters? Are you ready for that? Because I know everybody out there is frustrated. Our money, obviously, going to roads, those things are boring. Duh. Obviously, it would be great if our tax money, in fact, I'll volunteer to pay more taxes and I'll have less write-offs so that my tax money can go towards gender-affirming care. Also, I'm moving to Canada, which I'll get into in a minute. But I want to let everybody know that I have a new channel. That's right. And right now I'm covering all things Maui, which is really important for people out there that want to know about direct energy weapons and how they actually work and what's going on. And of course, nobody's buying into the narrative the mainstream media is giving. Those videos are available on my new channel, which is linked below. I have 3 channels, linked below. Make sure at the very least you sub to the first one for new content, but I recommend all 3 if you want my content. There is, again, new videos over there. Occasionally, I will upload on this channel, but if you're looking for all new stuff, that's where I am. So pause the video now, subscribe, get over to those channels, do the right thing and subscribe, please. Also, a reminder, I have a website, acallforanuprising.com. I hope to see more people over there. The website is $2.99 a month. It is troll-free, ad-free. The price of less than a bottle of water these days, and certainly half the price of a gallon of gas, or half a gallon of gas, I should say, per fill-up per month. And you get exclusive content over there, uncensored content. You don't have to worry about censorship or anything. And of course, the forum itself is worth it. The content in the forum, or the posts in the forum are very important. They're very informational. People are sharing things that are actually real things happening in the world. It could be something as small as something going on in your town this week, something you see at the store this week, people uploading pictures of things going on with satanic imagery or satanic symbols, all stuff that we all know, stuff that's getting marketed towards kids, okay? Important things, obviously. And of course, all the stuff, like I have in my most recent video, all things COVID for this fall, including your 5G, did I say 5G? EG5. That backwards sounds like 5G, but anyway, wink, wink. Over there, talking about that and the masks that are coming back and all sorts of fun stuff. So I highly recommend you join the website, give it a try. If you're a past subscriber, definitely give it another chance. A lot of things have been, always updates going on over on the website to make it run smoother, but I hope to see more people over there. That is linked below, acallforanuprising.com. Again, so this video here is something that I was going to post on my other channel, then I just decided to put it on the website, but I'll put it here because it's not really a website exclusive, but here's the video in full about your tax money. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm packing my bags. I've got my Samson, whatever it's called, suitcase out. I'm getting ready to head north of the border, heading up to Canada. Because of course, why wouldn't we all want to go to Canada? It seems like a really safe place to live. And as somebody who today, because of course I listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever his name is, who I recently covered, I agree with him 100% about every day, depending on how we feel, we should be able to choose a gender. And of course today, I'm feeling kind of blah, so I'm genderless. But I'm hoping tomorrow maybe I'll feel gray gender or possibly meta gender. Of course, these are all genders if you actually look up genders. And of course, as a genderless person and somebody who doesn't identify as a male or female, like I'm sure all of you out there, of course, Canada seems like a great place to go. And I want to go somewhere where I know my tax money is being put to good use. Now, there's 2 great things going on in Canada, for those of you that don't know. And I hate to sound like an infomercial for Canada and supporting Canada, but your tax money in Canada goes to 2 great causes. One, euthanasia. That's right, your tax money could actually go to assisting somebody whacking themselves. That's right. Or number two, which I think is absolutely wonderful, transgender tweaks like hair removal and voice feminization could, according to doctors and health officials in Canada, these things should be funded by the taxpayer. And I couldn't agree more, right? I mean, why not at this point? I mean, look at the stuff we're funding here in America. I mean, there's really only way to solve this, isn't there? You know what I mean? There's only one real way to solve this. But the other thing, too, that's great about Canada, I'm going to get into this wonderful news about transgender tweaks like hair removal and voice feminization coming out of your pocket. That means you slave away and you work in the mines or you work at a store, whatever you might work, just wherever, okay? Half of that money should go to somebody bobatizing themselves. We all agree on that, right? So I want to make it clear, by the way, if anyone tries to attack my video here, I identify as genderless. So anybody who's discriminating against this video, you're discriminating against an LGBTQ plus person such as myself, and that wouldn't be fair. That would be discriminating. So this video is fully protected by those rights that I have. And the other thing I love about Canada is Justin Trudeau, right? Justin Trudeau of the World Economic Forum, very close buddies with Klaus Schwab. I mean, very, very close. Also very close with President Macron or Macron, whatever you want to call him in France. I mean, they really know each other. Now that Justin is getting divorced, well, things are going to get real dicey soon. But Justin's such a great father. He let us know on social media that he took his son to go see Barbie, as you see here. So he took his son to see Barbie. The son looks extremely masculine, as does Justin. And he took his daughter to go see Oppenheimer, right? So he's trying to send a message, taking his daughter to see a movie about bombs and all that stuff. And he's taking his son to see Barbie. So we're supposed to obviously read deeply into it. So let's look at the story here about our tax money, or you in Canada, if you're there now, this is your tax money at work. Minor aesthetic procedures for transgender individuals should be publicly funded, according to health officials in Canada. An editorial by doctors from the Canadian Medical Association suggests treatments like hair removal and facial injectables should be paid for by the country's Medicare and publicly funded healthcare system. Minimally invasive procedures such as facial injectables and hair removal warrant consideration for public health care funding across Canadian jurisdictions, wrote Dr. Katie Ross and Dr. Sarah Fraser. And I'm waiting to say, and Dr. Kevorkian, Jack Kevorkian, right? Is he the other doctor on here? Public funding such as procedures which are currently funded in only 2 jurisdictions in Canada warrant serious consideration in all provinces and territories, the authors concluded. Canada's Medicare is funded and administered primarily by each of the country's provinces, and the programs receive assistance from the federal government. And of course, as I'm reading this, I'm looking at pictures of one of my heroes in today's world, Dylan Mulvaney. Of course, we see all over the news all the time. What a hero. Heroic. John Bob would be proud. The doctors from the article published in the journal CMA noted the added benefit of minimally invasive procedures being relatively low risk and reversible compared to hormonal and surgical routes. So when are we going to start funding for some of the Real Housewives of Utah to get Botox? Are we going to be funding for that next, right? You know, it's pretty amazing what we're putting up with and what citizens in all countries are putting up with their tax money. I mean, literally the point of your tax money is for infrastructure. In other words, like, hey, you know, to make sure those roads are functioning and there's not potholes everywhere and other things like that, right? That you would say, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, I do drive on the road. Somebody's got to fix them, right? I don't want to be driving a pothole, you know, through a pothole and go through the windshield. But now we're actually, you know, talking about euthanasia. We're talking about transgender procedures. I mean, really, where's it going to stop? I mean, are we going to be funding the tooth fairy to get butt implants? I mean, what are they going to come up with? And what are we going to put up with is the real question. I mean, how much longer can people put up with this stuff? I mean, they probably will come out and tell us that we should fund people who need Botox surgery because it'll make them feel better about themselves. Soon they'll want everyone to have Botox anyway because they want everybody to look mutated. Then they won't be able to tell one another apart. And I mean, they've already done enough destruction to the human species, haven't they? Haven't they already done enough destruction? I mean, it just kind of seems like it's getting worse by the day. Not that this is that. I'm talking about other things. This is obviously a wonderful thing that we all support here on YouTube. So, unlike Canada, the U.S. does not provide universal health care to all of its citizens. Instead, most people are insured by private insurance companies or a combination of private and federal or state programs. Policies which is amazing here in America that we pay all this tax money, and on top of that, we don't have universal health care. You pay an additional X amount of money every month into having, health insurance where you still have to go put a copay down. So that's pretty amazing about America, right? And then all of our tax money pretty much just goes to Mr. Zelensky over there, right? And if it doesn't go there, well, it goes to building their underground cities that they've built that they can go and do all sorts of disturbing activities underneath the earth while we're up here on the surface level thinking everything's sunshine and roses when it's not. So, policies concerning healthcare coverage on gender-affirming care or more minor feminizing procedures, sometimes called feminization surgery, just learn new things every day, FFS, it has its own abbreviation, vary from policy to policy. However, if the U.S. were to follow the guidelines suggested in the CMA article, people enrolled in America's government health insurance programs would have their FFS procedures covered and would not have to pay for it themselves. That's important. Government-funded health insurance. I mean, I would put them neck and neck. You know what I mean? Like a woman who's looking to grow a mustache. I mean, there's plenty of women these days that are growing their own, but a woman looking to grow a mustache, or you know what I mean? Guy looking to have a more of a Mike Tyson type of voice. I think that should go like neck and neck with somebody getting a kidney transplant, don't you? I mean, why not at this point? Because remember, we tie mental health into this. You know what I mean? We tie mental insanity. Slip of this. Insanity. Excuse me. Hey, I got Tourette's. Mental health, we tie into it. Mental health. I almost said instantly is what I meant to say. Instantly. So government-funded health insurance includes Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, Veterans Health Administration, and state children's health insurance program. And again, I'm sure even in Canada, the veterans are loving this, right? That more money is going towards stuff like this. So currently in the U.S., a self-pay patient can expect to pay between $8,500 and $49,500 for FFS, which is this whole thing I just mentioned. So that could be 50 grand just to get your voice to sound like Mike Tyson, right? Depending on how much treatment is done. For trans women, voice feminization and facial feminization surgery include operations such as forehead and brow bone reshaping, jaw and chin contouring, okay, nose reshaping, so you can get a free rhinoplasty out of your tax money. I mean, are you kidding me? Hairline advancement, and tracheal shave, a procedure to reduce the size of the Adam's apple. Can't make it up. Hair removal, for example, removing facial hair on a biological male wishing to transition to a woman, or hair transplantation through electrolysis or hairplasty. These shouldn't even be things in the world that exist, but they are. Electrolysis or hairplasty is another option to bring an individual closer to their desired gender. Whether or not, I mean, if you want to just do it quick and go closer to your desired gender, I mean, you could either, become, you could call Lorraine Bobbitt for crying out loud. I don't know how to do it the other way, but that's just an option. Whether or not these procedures are medically necessary for transgender individuals remains open to debate. Some health insurers in the U.S. may cover minor procedures to facilitate the gender transition process as part of treatment for gender dysphoria. Oh, and I'll guarantee you here in America that this is coming. I'll guarantee you. But I've said over the last couple of years that these things that they're doing are to bait you. They're baiting people into not paying because they want to have a reason to come and arrest people who don't. They want to have a reason to, the prison cells are for the people they consider extreme, like anyone who's like lead an uprising or something like that. So, if you take their bait, but at the same time, it's like, how can anybody actually in their right mind possibly be on board with some of the stuff that's going on, because it's completely insane. But anyway, CMA doctors cited a 2021 study of transgender people who said they had higher levels of self-esteem, a more positive body image, felt more aligned with their gender and faced less discrimination after getting non-surgical facial injectables compared to transgender individuals who do not undergo the procedure. So for people's self-esteem, I think we all agree that everybody's tax money should go towards this because, of course, you know, we want people's self-esteem to be up. But on the flip side, people like me or you, let's say that our self-esteem actually got hurt, which it doesn't, but let's just say it did. From, you know, maybe getting like banned on YouTube or something like that, or not being allowed to talk. Does that seem to matter? Like our self-esteem? What about like our, you know, feelings? Do they matter at all? How about our discrimination against? No? Oh, okay, right. Because it only goes towards one specific group who seem to have more rights than everybody else. So a larger study in the same year also found transgender women who received their hair removal sorry, I was just thinking of Mr. Clean. To make them appear more like a woman had better mental health status than those who did not have any hair removed. So couldn't they just maybe like get a razor? I mean, what's the, you know? Oh boy. Haircut, you know? Just get a haircut. The people's tax money really have to go towards hair removal? You know? Like, all right, you got long hair, you want to go, you know, we got a name for that in the States, right? It's called the butch. So, anyway, those who have had the procedure known as otoplasty have reported improvements in self-esteem and a decrease in anxiety due to how they look. So, if it comes to somebody having less anxiety, your tax money should go towards it. But, you know, other people out there who might get anxiety over, let's say, not being able to have free speech, over having their income taken away, being forced to take something, or they'll lose their job, those types of things, then you don't have rights. Nobody cares about you. But on the flip side, other people, not only are they allowed, not only is it endorsed, not only is it promoted, you're going to pay for it too, for them. What a world to live in 2023. Can you imagine in the Little House on the Prairie days if somebody came into town even talking about this kind of stuff? Did you imagine? Could you imagine the Wild West or anything like that? You know, just watch like an old Clint Eastwood movie or something and see how the people reacted. Somebody came in talking about this and they're like, you know, for my self-esteem, okay, and to decrease my anxiety, I am going to want you guys to all take the money out of your pockets so that I can have my something removed. What do you think they'd say? It wouldn't be much because it would be over pretty quick. So in today's world, of course, this is promoted, accepted, and on top of it all, they want to enrage you so much so that they want you to pay for it yourself, while on the flip side, people are struggling to put food on the table. People are struggling to fill up their gas tank, and that isn't just some stereotype. It's the truth. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees their bills after they leave the grocery store and can't figure out what they bought. Like, you look in your cart, and you're like, did I just buy a Thanksgiving turkey and 3 hams to equal this? Oh, no, I have about 7 things in my basket, and somehow it ended up over $100, right? Eggs, milk, bread, couple other things. No turkey in there, you know? No 20-pound ham, no filet mignons, but it's $100, right? But they don't care about that. They care about certain people's feelings. So forget about your tax money maybe going back into your pocket so you could put more food on the table while inflation and prices are so deliberately, ridiculously high. Nope. Your money's going to the Lorraine Bobbitt Foundation. So that's that. Next, the best thing for all of us to do is get up to Canada so we can all support this wonderfulness that's coming to America soon. And again, I obviously, all money that I make, I personally give to the LGBT+. I'm a member of GLAAD, as everybody knows. So please don't discriminate against my video and flag it and strike it, because I am a member and I'll prove it. I'm a card-carrying member. And every time I have any extra money, instead of giving it to the homeless or anything like that, I give it to these types of procedures because they're very essential in today's society to survive. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to go smash my head against the wall. God bless you and your families.